Hey guys, welcome to our vlog number 3, where we are studying poker. So today is the third time we're doing this. First time we did a situation, the second time we discussed how to change the open raise ranges based on the players, and this time we're not gonna do another situation just yet. We're actually gonna do 4 situations, but it's just gonna be practical hands, which means hands that happen in game where we did something, the opponent did something else, and we're gonna analyze that spot if our decisions were correct. So what I do here is I mark a hand, for example, where I open and somebody 3-bet shoves, and then I have to decide where the hand I have was a call or a fold. And also not just this specific hand, but I also look at the range, right? With what range should I call? How this hand fits into that range? Is it at the top of the range, at the bottom of the range? So I get a good grasp of what I should be calling the next time such a situation presents. So I think the best thing to go with is, I think the best thing is just to start with it. We have a Hold the Manager replayer. We have four hands saved in there. We're gonna go through each and every one of them. We're gonna analyze it. We're gonna input the data in our spreadsheet, and we're gonna play with the numbers in ICmizer. So first of all, let's start. We have pocket tens. This is the first hand. We want this hand. It doesn't matter. The result doesn't matter. We want to get a good picture of how things should be done in this spot. So we open in the UTG, which is pretty standard with pocket tens, and we get a call, which is fine, and then we get a shove. Everybody folds. This guy has 17 big blinds, 10 adjusted. Now here we can safely say that tens are an easy call, right? There's it's a no-brainer, or just a reshove. Probably it's a better reshove than, yeah, just a reshove there, right? But I do want to know how low I can go with calling pocket pairs or any other hands, right? So we're gonna first do we're gonna input the situation in the spreadsheet, and then we're gonna see what the results are. So the effective stacks are 17 big blinds or 10 adjusted. Our position is UTG, hero hand is pocket tens, villain position is button. So action, we open, cut off flats, button 3-bet shoves. This is the how do you call it? This is how the action went. So his range, let's input this hand just a second. I need to find it in Hold the Manager to input it. So pocket tens. We are gonna copy it and put it in here. Why is it all 4? Just a second. Copy, paste. Okay, now it should be work. Okay, so we have pocket tens. We open, this guy calls, and this guy shoves. So let's see what's he's pushing it with. He has 17 big blinds, right? So we're gonna assume, and there's a lot of dead money in the pot. So we're definitely gonna assume this to be an okay pushing range. See, maybe we can ditch ace 9. Let's say he shoves ace 10 off, ace 8 suited plus king 10 suited. Let's remove this for the sake of our argument. Let's put it a little bit of a tighter range here. Actually, no. I think he's gonna be shoving all those ace 5 suited. Pocket fives too. I think something like let's put it like something like this, right? And it's gonna be easier to know later on. For example, we get a result, right? And then we think, okay, he's shoving 12% here, and I know if he's shoving wider than that, I can call wider, right? For example, so yeah, let's see. So he shoves that, and let's see what the result should be. So as you can see, pocket tens are a clear call, right? So we have 3-bet shove range equals 12%. We're gonna play with that later on, and we'll see how it changes, right? Just give me 1 second. So the best move with pocket tens is easy call, and EV is plus 1.28, which is pretty, which was kind of something we knew from the get-go, right? And our range for calling here should be 8%. Okay, so we should call here with 8% range. So it's like 6-6 plus ace 10 suited plus ace jack off, something like this, which is okay. So we are well within our range with pocket tens. We should be calling with pocket sixes even, for example, right? But it's kind of a marginal call, same as with ace 10 suited. So now let's assume another position. We're gonna mark if. This means that if a situation changes, and what we're gonna change is this 3-bet shoving range. So let's give him, let's say he's a really aggressive guy. There's only 17 big blinds, so let's assume he's gonna be shoving way wider than that. For example, something like this. All pocket pairs. Let's say he's shoving 20%. So So 3-bet shove range equals, sorry, so this equals 20%. Now let's see, I mean, we know that pocket tens are still gonna be a call, but let's see how much wider we should go. Okay, so you can see we should go a bit wider. So pocket tens are still an easy call. They're even more profitable, 1.62. And the interesting thing is now we should call with 11.9%. So that's like 50% range increase, right? So you see how a lot of other things get profitable as soon as he's shoving wider, right? Jack suited plus king queen off, something like this. So you see this is like a 50% range increase in terms of calling, which is kind of, I mean, we got, I think like most of you probably thought it's gonna be something like that because we did widen his range for quite a lot, almost by like more than 50%, right? So this is a simple way how to do, like how when you have a situation at the table, you can mark it and later analyze it. Obviously, as I said, pocket tens were pretty clear reshove there. There was not much to think about, but I did want to know how wide we should actually go with calling there. And as we can see, like if we give him a 12% shoving range, it should be like sixes plus, ace ten suited, and ace jack off, right? So yeah, that's interesting in my opinion. So let's go to the next hand. Let's see. The next hand is king queen off. Okay, let's see this hand. So we open in the MP, which is pretty standard for king queen off, and we get a shove from the small blind for 11 adjusted big blinds, 18 big blinds. So I made a call here. He showed up with aces and I lost. And this is a spot where I wasn't sure this was a good call. I think it was really on the line, and I do feel that probably folding would be better. I thought that at the table, but what we want to do right now is we want to check if it's actually plus EV to call, or if we should fold here. So just 1 second, guys. So let's go. We're gonna copy this hand, king queen off. Copy, we're gonna paste it in here. So he shoves 18 big blinds. So let's say he has a 19% range. Okay, so let's give him, I think this is fine. If you give him a general range, let's see what Icy Miser is gonna say. And this is interesting. Icy Miser tells us it's a minus EV fold, a minus EV call here, but it's actually really marginal. So it's kind of a break-even-ish call here. So I think in terms of that, like it does depend on how deep you are in the tournament. It depends if it's a bounty tournament. For example, if it's a bounty tournament, I think you should be leaning closer towards calling because there's bounty on the line. But in general, I think folding should be fine. So this is an interesting spot. Let's write it down. Just a second. So effective stack is 18 BB, 11 adjusted. We are in the MP. We have king queen off. The villain is in the small blind. We open. Villain 3-bet shoves. So we are assuming a 3-bet range equals 19%, and we should fold. And it is minus 0.02 minus EV, which is really close, right? It's kind of a break-even-ish call here. But then again, like if you think you have an edge over the players at the table, if you think they're weak, you don't need to chase these small edges, and you don't need to flip in those tight positions, right? In these situations, right, where you can just wait for a better hand and get their chips. So let's see, we should call with 11.6% here. 11.6%, which is fours plus, ace 8 suited plus, ace 9 off plus, and king queen suited. So this is interesting. And now again we are going to do another if situation, which means that what if he has a different range? He is 22-12 so far, a big 3-bet, but that's only because of a small sample. This is like 3 out of 7 and 1 out of 4, so not a lot of 3-bets in general. He's not that aggressive overall, so I think what we want to try here is to give him a tighter range, or else let's take a look at something. Let's see how much do we need to widen his range to make king queen off a profitable call. If we make it 23%, let's see. If we make it a 23% jamming range for him, it's a call. So if a 3-bet range is 23%, it's a call with king queen off 0.13, right? Yeah. So, and we should call with 15.1%, 15.1%. This is just out of curiosity, right? To see how wider he should be jamming there to make this a profitable call. But in reality, I don't think guys are going to be shoving this wide in this spot. So let's try to give him a bit of a tighter shoving range here. So he still has 18 big blinds. He can easily call some stuff, but he's in the small blind, so he's going to be more inclined to shove some things than to just call, right? Let's say he's shoving something like this. Like 10%. This is a bit on a tighter side, but let's say I just want to see how the ranges change, right? So we give him a 10.5%, and now we can see that king queen suited is a clear cut fold. It's a minus 0.65 EV to call here. So if we give him 3-bet range of 10.5%, it's a clear cut fold minus 0.65. You can see it's, yeah, even king queen suited should be folded here. It's clearly a negative call, so yeah. So we're gonna mark it as a red to know this. Just a second, just to make it a bit more interesting, colorful, easier to read. So our calling range here should be only 6.8%, which kind of makes sense, right? Because we gave him quite a tight shoving range. So 8s plus and ace jack. So this is what we should be calling in this spot. So yeah, like I think in a general idea here, a general like solution here would be to fold king queen off. I don't think they're shoving 23% with those stack sizes. I don't think they're shoving only 10%, but I think about 19% should be around enough, and it's a break-even call there. And even if we go like, let's say we go to 15%, let's see what happens. We're gonna go like this. Ace 5, let's say it's something like this, so 15%. Let's see versus 15%, it's still a clear-cut fold here, right? So yeah. Okay, let's go to the next hand. So we have pocket 8s. Let's see what happens. So we open, and this guy shoves. So just a second, I kind of want to see how much it was. So it was 29.19. 29.19, so it's like, where is it here? So 29 BB, 19 adjusted. So we are a bit deeper here. So here it's kind of interesting for me to actually see if pocket 8s are a call. Like my assumption here was that it was a clear-cut call, but I could be wrong. So we open button, small blind shoves. So let's see, we're gonna copy this hand. We're just gonna look straight off the bat with the ranges that IC Miser puts for him, like 17% pushing range. Let's see, and it says it's a clear-cut call. So if he has a 3-bet range of 17%, we're gonna take a look at those ranges later on and adjust them. So it's a call, 0.68. It's actually quite a clear-cut call, right? I mean, 0.68 is quite nice in EV. So 7.5%. So 7s plus, ace 10 suited plus, ace jack off plus, sorry. Okay, so this is what we should be calling, and as you can see, pocket 8s are a clear call in this spot. Pretty easy stuff. So it says that he's shoving 17% here. Let's see. Now, like, we have 500 hands on him, so I think we can make a bit more assumptions when we're looking at his stats. Let's see. As you can see, he is fairly aggressive in 3-betting from the small blind, 16%, which is quite a big number. That's like, I mean, it's actually pretty okay. I think it's fine. So if we assume like 16%, this is exactly what it says here, 16%. So if we keep this range, pocket 8s are a clear-cut call, right? Now let's assume for like 33 big blinds, or like, what was it, 29 big blinds. Let's assume he's gonna be shoving a bit tighter, like 7s. He's gonna be shoving ace 10, king queen off, ace 9 suited, and something like this, like 10.5%. Let's see how minus EV pocket 8s are then. And you can see they are clearly minus EV. So if we are facing a tight opponent whose 3-bet range would be 10.5% in this spot, we should be folding pocket eights, and they are quite an easy fold. They're pretty much on the bottom, and we should be probably calling with around 4%. Yeah, 4.7%. So it's gonna be tens plus ace queen plus, something like this, which kind of makes sense because we gave him quite a tight shoving range there, right? So yeah, let's try to find that borderline spot where eights are still plausible, like still a good shove. So let's try to give him like 13%. Like, let's see, what with 13% should we be calling? Yeah, as you can see, so 13% is kind of a threshold where pocket eights are still a profitable call. So if his 3-bet range equals about 13%, we should call 0.17, and they're the bottom of our calling range. So it's probably about 6%. Yeah, 5.9% range. So it's ace plus, ace jack suited plus, ace queen off. Plus. So you can see this is the way that you can play around with the ranges here, see what changes. Obviously, again, we could adjust our opening ranges here, but I think like what they're saying to open here on the button is totally fine. Like, those ranges are never going to be super off, so I think it's fine. And I think it's just like a good way to do study to get a general idea of how wide or tight you should be calling in some spots. You're never going to know 100% for every hand at the table, but it's good to have a good idea, a good feeling about it, right? So yeah, now let's go to the last hand. It's ace-9 suited. Oh, this is just, I remember this hand, I marked it just out of curiosity. We open, and where is it? The big blind just shoves on us. Again, like, this is a pretty standard spot. What is interesting is here that we are 77 or 46 big blind adjusted deep, which is quite deep for a 3-bet shove. So 77 big blind, 46 adjusted. So this is a really deep spot, right? So yeah, let's take a look. We're gonna analyze it and see. We are in the UTG +1. We have ace-9 suited. I mean, I would assume it's a clear-cut fold. We open big blind, 3-bet shove for 77 big blind. So okay, let's input this hand in, copy, paste. Like, let's see his range, 19%. I don't think he's going to be shoving there with 19% range for 77 big blinds. So okay, let's assume the 77. No, but this is like, they're never doing that. This is like ridiculous. And even his stats, he's 22-10. I think, like, okay, let's see what, if we leave this standard range of 19%, let's see what it says. It's actually still a minus EV call, right? So 3-bet range equals 19%. It's a fold, which kind of makes sense, right? 6.5 minus 0.65. And we should be calling with about 7%, 7.1%. Yes, 7.1%. So 8s plus, ace-10 suited plus, ace-jack off plus. So this is the range we should be calling if we give him that range. But like, bear in mind, I don't think they are ever, like, from my experience, what I saw so far, I don't think they are ever doing it like this. So we are going to assume a bit tighter range here. So let's go. Let's say he is shoving something like, even if we go still a bit pocket eights, but these are like, why would he do that, right? Ace queen off. Even let's say he's shoving 5% here. Like, I don't think they're open. Like, we would have to have a read that he's shoving something random, like king jack suited, ace 4 suited, or something like that. Let's put him on this range. So we put him on a 5.9% range, and we see that we should just stay the hell away from that. Even ace king suited is a marginal call here. So if a 3-bet range is 5.9%, we should fold. It's minus 3.66. We're never ever gonna be making money, and we should be calling with around 3% here, 2.1% even. Sorry, 2.1%. So jacks plus ace king suited. So really tight. I don't know, like what do you guys think? Like what do you like? Let me know in the comments. What do you think about those spots when they are shoving for like 77 big blinds effective? What do you think their ranges are here? Like I always feel like they are gonna be some, you're gonna see like ace king or some big pocket pair, especially when I have like no info on people. It's really hard to assume otherwise. And look at his stats. We have 300 hands on him. It's 22-10, so he's not really aggressive in 3-betting. So it doesn't make sense for him to have random hands here, right? Unless he was in a hurry for something and he just wanted to finish the tournament, but we don't know that, right? But yeah, anyway, guys, so this is gonna be it. Like this is gonna be the third part. You saw another way how to analyze your hands, how to do an off-table work. Let me know what you think. If you have any comments about the ranges, if you would like to see more of this, let me know. And yeah, that's it. Have a nice day. Good luck at the tables. Bye bye.